child-headed families, children are often double orphans looking after their young brothers and sisters. Many times these children also look after adults incapacitated by age, disability, ill health, and even alcoholism. They do all this at the cost of their own education and childhood. Some families suffer extreme deprivation of almost everything, including money, shelter, clothing, and even food. They often go hungry. There is nothing to like about child-headed families, but they have a lot to teach us. Their amazing resilience. They would have recently suffered the double loss of their parents, but still pull themselves together and provide care for others. Despite extreme poverty, they show amazing generosity. They put many of us to shame who, despite enjoying more comfortable circumstances, complain and use shortage of money as an excuse for not helping to bring up at least one unparented child. Family relationships and how they affect the children. Family is the divine building block for society. As family members, we live together for mutual support and encouragement. It is in our families that we learn the values by which we live our lives. We learn right from wrong in our families. It is from our families that we learn compassion, integrity, and acquire a strong belief in God. Many of us here are Christians because our parents are or were Christians. They showed us the value of being a Christian. Others are Muslims because their parents were Muslims. Moral values are instilled at home, and that is a big responsibility for parents. What a child witnesses and experiences growing up greatly influences what he or she will become. Let's discuss a few prevailing family situations and how they are shaping what we are seeing in society today. Family dynamics. In families where daddy's word is a command, the boys grow up to be bossy, and the girls may learn to be so submissive that they are almost scared of their husbands and think that that is what it is meant to be. Of course, there are cases where mom is the she who must be obeyed. Where gender roles are strictly prescribed, e.g. child care is a mother's role, the father may end up being uninvolved and absent in the lives of his children. Where everything is left to the mother, she gets overwhelmed and overworked and is then accused of not paying attention to her husband anymore. When a child is sexually abused in childhood, he or she is likely to sexually abuse children when he or she grows up, and the cycle continues. Nature of parents' relationships. Children who are sure that mom and dad love each other grow up into confident, well-adjusted adults. Otherwise, they are at risk of doing drugs to escape from the constant anxiety they feel. There was a young man who was a top-class, first-class degree holder in engineering from Nairobi University. When he got a job here, he soon abandoned his station of work on a roadside, sold all the fuel, and went and drank the money. Because it is me who recommended him for the job, the employer was quick to tell me of the circumstances. And when I tracked down the young man, he broke down and cried and said, "I have been waiting for many years, and I still have not got any indication." And I said, indication of what? Indication that his mother and father love each other. When the parents eventually sorted themselves out, it was too late. He had already become an alcoholic. Parenting style. Some parents give in to whatever demands their children make, under the pretext that they suffered a lot of poverty in their childhood and don't want their children to suffer similar experience. They fail to set boundaries and direction for their children. They produce selfish adults who respect no one's rights except their own. They suffer from affluenza. You know influenza? But these children suffer from affluenza, meaning that they are so affluent, they know, they don't understand that anybody else can be anything but affluent. On the other hand, parents that are too strict bring up very timid children with underdeveloped cognitive abilities, since they never need to think, but only to obey. Number of children. Families with large numbers of children must play their cards carefully. On the one hand, having large number of children could develop in the children a collaborative and sharing skills. But it can also result in clique formation, in fighting, and in many cases inadequacy of essentials of life such as food. And this may lead to much anxiety. Absentee parent. A young single parent lady recently called me wondering what advice I can give her. What can she do since she has no time for her child? She simply cannot spend quality time with her son since her job is very demanding and she must do everything to earn more money to pay his fees and also live a comfortable life, so she calls it. She has ended up sending the child to boarding schools at an early